Sam Howell has a lot that he has to be responsible for, and it's a lot of pressure on him. But honestly, I feel like it's a lot of pressure on everybody. I feel like it's a lot of pressure on AG because his season is about to come to an end when his contract, his contract is coming to an end, and he has to perform so he can get the best contract that he wants. And I'm sure we're gonna keep him. And then Chase Young got to perform. Who else? Like, it's a lot of people. Like, honestly, it's a lot of people that got to perform. Ron Rivera has to perform. Eric Bieniemy has to perform. It's going to be a lot of eyes on them. And, who else? Cameron Curl got to perform. He going to get a contract this year. He coming to the end of his contract. Sweat got to perform. Chase Young, he got to perform. He getting a contract. He got his 5th year decline. So everybody, it's a lot of people that got a lot of pressure on him. And then, Emmanuel Forbes, for example, even though he's a rookie, it's a lot of pressure on him because, we wasn't able to create as many turnovers as we wanted to last season, and that's what we're trying to do this year. And it's just, and then, even Jack Del Rio, he got to be the same he was before or even better. His defense, his defense has been crazy. We've been doing great with his defense, but, he still want to take it to that next level. And, I feel like with the 2 additions we got from the draft, Quan Martin and Emmanuel Forbes, they going to make that happen. And, just that defense, our defense alone is going to be able to lighten the load for Sam Howell when he make mistakes. Because Sam Howell is going to make mistakes, let's be honest. Like, just because he a rookie don't mean he ain't going to make no mistakes. And that's more of a reason why he's going to make more mistakes, And he's coming into his first original year, actually being a starter. It's still a lot that he can make mistakes on. And he only had 1 start last season. So it's a lot of improvement he got to do. And that's why he's been practicing with the offense in Florida, trying to get familiar with everybody and just just get comfortable with how everybody work and play together. And plus, he might be wanting to add some extra hand gestures when he play, it's like that's basically what goes on, is when it comes down to a quarterback, he got to be responsible for so much. You got to be responsible for your offense, making sure your offense is lined up properly. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the defense to see if the safety's moving, the quarterback's moving. Like, you got to be responsible for a lot. And the calls, bro, have you ever heard a call? Them Jones be complicated. So it's a lot they got to be responsible for. And, I feel like Sam Howell got it, And I also heard some news that we might be getting Malik Willis. And I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? And I seen I think it was 5 teams that he could possibly go to if he get released from the Titans, Tennessee Titans. So if he get released from them, I honestly feel like he's in the group that was up there. I feel like he's going to the Seattle Seahawks, and he could come to us. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Eric Bieniemy, he would love to have him because I know he was excited about Alex Smith and the fact that Alex Smith could run or pass. So I'm sure he would appreciate that. And, we also got that in Sam Howell. Sam Howell is very dynamic, and he can do either or, And I'm sure Eric Bieniemy has a lot of room in his offense for him to do exactly that. So Malik Willis, whatever his name is, no disrespect to him, but I just can never get his last name right. But yeah, I know he's a beast. I mean, he can do a lot, even though he hasn't really shown that. He just hasn't been comfortable with the Tennessee Titans offense just yet. But it seems like they want to get rid of him. And, last season, I think he just threw 3 interceptions. He didn't throw any touchdowns. So that's the majority of the reason why they might want to get rid of him. But I feel like the Tennessee Titans should give him another chance. Just he was a rookie, you know what I'm saying? Who don't make mistakes? And, a lot of quarterbacks make a whole bunch of mistakes in their rookie year. And, for example, Patrick Mahomes, he wasn't great his rookie year, you know what I'm saying? So just with that being said, I think every quarterback, their rookie year, deserves a chance to mess up. if I threw 80 interceptions, that's fine with me. Like, I feel like you should still be allowed to be on the team because that first year, you're responsible for so much in your rookie year that you got to give yourself that grace. So I just feel like, and then the fact that he's a third round, I think Malik Willis was a third round or fourth round pick. So that's more of a reason why you need more time to develop. Ain't like he was a first round draft pick and then he became a bust. No, he was a third round draft pick. So that means he obviously didn't have what it takes to be a starter right off the bat. So that means he needs more time to develop. So I think if he came to the team, it'd be great. You know, the quarterbacks we done had throw to Terry, I think it was 10. Ever since Terry been here, I think it's 10. So obviously we haven't been able to hit on our quarterbacks. So we need all of them. We need anyone you trying to bring to us. If they in a free agency and they good, go get them. And bro, he's only had 1 year. So why wouldn't you want Malik Willis on the team? So, you know what I'm saying? If I was the general manager or whoever, I'm going to get him no matter what. Because it's a lot. You can see it's a lot of room to develop on that team, on the Commanders if he came to us. But if he doesn't, I feel like he's going to the Seattle Seahawks. And, you know, he can learn from Geno Smith this whole season. Because without a doubt, we know he's not ready. But he needs a veteran to learn from. And, you know, we got Jacoby Brissett to learn from. And you see what Jacoby has done with Sam Howell. He's allowed Sam Howell to team up. He teamed up with Sam Howell, first of all, and has been teaching Sam Howell the ways. Because, honestly, they came together and formed, you know, a time to bond with the team outside of training camp and outside of mini camp and OTAs. Like, this is their moment. And right now, they've been working out in Florida. So they've been building that bond. And, you know, they also went out to dinner. And that's more of a reason where you build bonds, you know what I'm saying? And you build relationships because you also, within working together on the field, you got to do that outside of the field too. So you just get comfortable with each other, you know? And I bring it up every time, but a great example is Benjamin St-Juste and Derek Forrest. So I think Derek Forrest went to Benjamin St-Juste's wedding. And, bruh, I know they best friends. So, like, them in the backfield is crazy. And you see how many tip passes Benjamin St-Juste has knocked out and Defoe has got it. You know what I'm saying? So it means a lot to have a bond outside of the actual field. You know what I'm saying? Or outside of practicing. So yeah, you know, we have a lot. Sam Howell has a lot to worry about, but the whole entire team has a lot to improve on, and we have a lot to be responsible for. So don't just keep putting that pressure on Sam Howell. Like, we know he has a lot, but, you know, even last season, like, he did a great job against Dallas, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and then another person that has a lot to, you know, really, really improve on is Dyami Brown. Like, he came in and lost his spot. And he lost that spot to Jahan Dotson. And Jahan Dotson definitely took his spot and went crazy with it. But when Dyami had that opportunity in week 5, he went crazy with just 2 receptions by Carson Wentz and made 2 touchdowns off him. 2 receptions made touchdowns of 2 of them. And 105 yards. And that's just crazy to believe. Like, that boy had a 75-yard touchdown and a 30-yard touchdown. So it's just like, you can tell it's potential there. And that's why this year we've been talking a lot about Dyami, and we've been throwing him in that wide receiver group. And, you know, people don't want to say it just because he's a backup, but I think we've been pushing him and saying he's a starter, even though it's no room for him to start. But, you know what I'm saying, with Jahan there. But he lost his starting spot. So it's like, he's trying his best this season to really get it back, and he's been practicing and been you know, doing a lot of stuff with Sam Howell outside of working with the other people on the team. So he's been having that one-on-one with Sam Howell, and he was the reason why Sam Howell, you know, had 3,000 yards in 3 of his years. You know what I'm saying? 2 of his years, my bad. And you can see what happens when Sam Howell has to be responsible for a lot. Like his last season, he didn't have De'Ami Brown, and you see what happened. My man still made it to 3,000 yards, and he had a whole bunch of rushing yards. I think he had like 700, 800, and it just shows that, like, okay, my passing is a little disabled, so I can use my feet, and that's the thing about Sam Howell. He's dynamic, so I think he brings a lot to the table, and he understands the game. He doesn't stop working, so that's a great thing about him. He's always working, and he's always trying to get better. And I've seen some of his old coaches come out and have interviews, and they talked about how he's always in his books and he's always learning. And the thing is, Sam Howell is learning from Patrick Mahomes. Not like one-on-one, but he's learning from him by watching his film. And not just him, but the whole offense has been watching what they do in Kansas City, And, Eric Bieniemy even spoke about it. And also, we also know that we're going to be using our tight ends more. And, we're going to be doing a lot more passing to our running backs for AG, for example, and Antonio Gibson. So he's going to be a lot more productive on the offense, than he was in the run game. So I feel like, and then with Christopher Rodriguez, like I said before, like him just being there is going to lower the production for AG when it comes to that running. But the passing, that boy going up this year, and he's made it known what he wants. And Eric Bieniemy is going to make it happen. And, man, I just can't. I'm so excited for this year that I just keep talking. Like I ain't stopped, take a break or nothing. But man, it's so much to talk about, and it's like Sam Howell has a lot of pressure on him. But like I said before, it's a lot of pressure on the entire team, and he's doing everything he possibly can. And even our tight ends have been doing great things. Like, for example, Cole Turner, he's been, showing up to camps by Travis Kelce and who else? George Kittle, that they put together, where they have all the great tight ends come together and they work, and for 3 days they learn from each other, and they do things together to bond and really develop a great relationship, and also teach skills that you didn't know as a tight end, or you didn't pay attention to, like skills like when you're on the line, treat it as if you're playing basketball, because sometimes when you got the ball, you gotta and that's how Travis Kelce said he plays. He treats when he's getting off the line as if he's playing basketball. So that's just something that I never thought about, but I'm sure it's a lot of tight ends that never thought about that. And now that they know that, they can add that to their game. And a great example is not a great example, but another person who was there was Darren Waller. And think about, just pay attention to what he do this season, because I'm sure it's going to probably be some and that's strictly because of Travis Kelce. And he just gave some of what he does and how he's been able to be 1,000-yard receiver for so long. And he's been doing a great job, and I think we are going to make a complete turnaround this year. And I see a lot of people hating on us, saying that we not going to even make it. I believe it was like 6 games. That they think that's all we're going to get. And I'm like, do y'all not know that last season we had 8 wins and we beat one of the hardest teams was the Eagles, and we also beat a playoff team, which was the Cowboys. Like, and then my whole thing is like, that was last year. That was without, Emmanuel Forbes or Quan Martin in the backfield. That was without Chase Young. Like, you telling me now that we got all 3? We got 3 of them on the defense. You don't think we're gonna shut stuff down? And then, man, imagine going from Scott Turner as our offensive coordinator to now going to a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy. You don't think we're going up this year? We're going up from 8-1. We're going up without a doubt. We're going to the playoffs, and that's how I'm feeling about it. And man, it's And then when you think about Emmanuel Forbes and Quan Martin, they're without a doubt going to be starters. Even though Quan Martin, it's no room for him to start right now because of Emmanuel Forbes and Benjamin St-Juste and Fuller, and we got Cameron Curl and Defoe. It's no room for him. But when it comes time for him to be a backup for somebody, he can go anywhere. He can play anywhere. He can play safety. He can play corner. And right now, he's still learning how to play safety. But right now, he can be in the slot because he does great. And Emmanuel Forbes, he's starting day one. I can tell you that now. Because think about it. Everybody's learning this defense. My bad. No, this is the same defense. My bad. Everybody's learning the offense because of the new offense by Eric Bieniemy. But Emmanuel Forbes is going to start. One, because he said he's already familiar with everything because of what he did in college. He had to get familiar with different type of defenses. So he's already familiar with this one. He said the only thing he got to get familiar with is the language. It's different languages. But he just got to get familiar with it. He already knows the plays. He says the same. It's the same. He said he just needs to learn the lingo. So what that tells me is he's about to be a starter. The hardest thing for people to understand is that when you go to a new team, you got to understand the playbook. You got to understand the lingo. You got to understand the hand gestures. He already understands the hardest part, which is the playbook. And, the defense. He just needs to understand the lingo. And once he gets that, he's starting. And no matter what, we're going to see what happens in this training camp. And I got him, I got him getting 4 interceptions in his training camp. And I, without a doubt, he's going to be a starter. And, I believe Emmanuel Forbes might be playing the slot. Benjamin St-Juste is going to be playing the outside. And Kendall Fuller is going to be on the outside as well. So if Benjamin St-Juste is still on the outside and he stays healthy this year, he said he wants to be an all-pro. I can see him making it to the Pro Bowl because he did a great job, you know what I'm saying? But I can see him, as long as he stays healthy, I think he's going to go up this season. And he could make it to the Pro Bowl. It's on him, you know what I'm saying? It's on him and how he plays, And hopefully, he gets that. He gets to the Pro Bowl. I can see it happening if he can stay healthy. He's great. And just hopefully he can, stop doing a little bit too much holding, because I've been paying attention to it. I don't know if anybody else has, but he do a lot of holding. But, just a little bit of holding. But, yeah, just to end on that note, man, I appreciate y'all for watching this long. And, man, definitely, if you love the video or if you like my content, definitely subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to have some more content for you.